XRP and Bitcoin, part of the great financial reset. When all the dust settles, number one and number two will be Bitcoin and XRP. Remember when they told us, remember your banks, the Federal Reserve, Jamie Dimon, Larry Fink from BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, told you run as fast as you can from cryptocurrency? Well, now the whole landscape has changed. I've been sharing since 2020 that banks will be custodying your crypto. It's very easy to predict the future by looking at history and how things change. There's not some big grand conspiracy going on. This is an alchemy of money. Digital gold, hard gold, physical gold is alchemizing into Bitcoin gold. An old archaic banking system, some banks still use a DOS system, is transferring into a quantum financial system. With supply chain moving at the speed of light, messaging after March 10th, with ISO moving at the speed of light, money has to move at the speed of light. So there's not always some big grand conspiracy going on. It's called evolution. It's called change. It's called innovation. It's called growth. And the beautiful thing about Trump coming in and bringing us into the golden era, you're going to see more wealth and more public and private sector and more growth than we've ever seen in the next 4 years. Now, here's where the rub comes in. You have to get out of the tribalism. You have to get out of the emotion. These are not your identity. These are things you can invest in to bring the abundance back to your family. So over the next 4 years, you have an opportunity to be either an investor of it or you'll be a consumer of it. There'll be no middle ground. You're going to see more innovation and more changes than you've ever seen in the next 4 years. And the next bull run, I believe truly, is going to create generational wealth for people's family. So let's dive right in. On the back end of every video, I share with you exactly what I'm doing. A warning before we start, that is not me DMing you. I don't use WhatsApp. I don't use Telegram. Never, ever send anybody money. Never send anybody your crypto. Never send anybody your money. There's no giveaways going on. Those are all scams. We do not invest people's crypto. We do not have a trading platform. Just to keep yourself safe, don't send anybody you don't have their phone number directly that you can call them up. Keep yourself safe. In cryptocurrency, there are so many scams out there. All right, so let's dive right in. On the back of every video, I share with you exactly what I am doing. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to watch, look, this is what I want you to understand, is that their narrative is now changing. Okay, remember, when they tell you to look this way, you got to turn your head this way. Problem, reaction, solution. They create a problem, there's a reaction to people, and then they swoop in with the solution. This happens over and over and over again. They had us drunk in the Coliseum, and then the Trojan horse comes in. So now Jerome Powell's like, hey, banks, they're good to custody crypto. They're good to do. Well, let's just listen to what he says.
As you know, in the annual report from the Financial Stability Oversight Council, among the risks outlined is cryptocurrency. Could you talk about those risks now? And regarding individuals and households, perhaps distinct from the concern about the financial system, do you worry that speculation in this unregulated asset class could hurt their financial well-being, or do you think it has a place in a household's portfolio?
So our role with Bitcoin really is to look at, with crypto, really is to look at the banks, and we think it's, banks are perfectly able to serve crypto customers as long as they understand and can manage the risks, and it's safe and sound. As a good number of our banks that we regulate and supervise do that. The threshold has been a little higher for banks engaging in crypto activities, and that's because they're so new. And we don't want to make the mistake. If you're making a choice to conduct that activity inside a bank, which is inside the federal safety net with deposit insurance, then you want to be pretty sure that it's a safe and sound activity. So
boom, there's your next narrative right there. Pay attention. Within the next 24 months, I've been telling you guys, you're going to start to see Wells Fargo Bank, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, safety, security, bring your crypto underneath a regulated institution. The water's warm. Come on in. Guys, they're already set up. Wells Fargo's with R3, Ripple's in Bank of America's patent, JP Morgan created Onyx, JPM Coin, their own blockchain. I think it rebranded. Guys, this has been going on this is back in 2017 they were building this stuff. Okay. The system wasn't ready. You're in before the institutions. So the entry points right now is you're going to be buying, even if you buy the top right now, you're buying the bottom of the future. Okay. So we're going to watch this video and then we're going to go back to the XRP community. I want you to listen to Brad Garlinghouse talk about leaving a dent in the universe. So this is the crypto czar, right? So now she's asking him about the Bitcoin reserve. It's all Bitcoin reserve, Bitcoin reserve. Something is coming within the next 90 days. I guarantee you.
And David, finally, when are we going to hear the announcement about the Bitcoin reserve from the Trump administration? Everyone's waiting for that. We got the study and the review, but the Bitcoin reserve, Texas is going to move forward. It looks like with legislation Dan Patrick announced today, that's a big priority for them in Texas. But how about the Trump administration?
Well, there's also a bill in the Senate. I think Cynthia Lummis from Wyoming has introduced a bill to create a national Bitcoin reserve. President Trump has asked us to study that issue, so we're just not ready to comment on it yet, but it's one of the things our working group's going to look at.
Can't wait. David, thank you so much.
We can't either. Cool. So Cynthia Lummis is head of the digital asset group now, right? And she created the Bitcoin Treasury bill. Trump has told them to look at it. And now we're going to go back to the Ripple Day, which was Tuesday, I believe. We're going to listen to Brad Garlinghouse talking about leaving a dent in the universe.
Those clawback are definitely very important. I think in the line of sight that we have the lending protocol coming that a lot of people are excited about. And we've been in discussion with people that are building on other chains that are really looking at what's happening on the lending protocol, because the minute it goes live, they want to get involved, they want to connect, they want to see how interoperable their solutions can be with the XRPL. The atomic badge XLS56D, I think, that will allow for monetization of applications on the XRPL is also a big one that I know a lot of people are waiting for. And I'll add maybe the XLS78D that hasn't got enough coverage, I think, is the subscription feature that will let builders launch subscription models on the XRPL. And that one has been led by Chris Dangerfield. I also wanted to give him a shout out for his work. So yeah, exciting time ahead, a lot of innovation happening. Hopefully the foundation will lead a lot of efforts in coordinating all the actors that are building new features. And now I want to be conscious of our time here. We still have time to go. So maybe changing gear to Ripple strategy and Ripple opportunities. What are, you mentioned it's been a 10-year journey. So, I'm curious to know what were your initial excitements and how has that evolved today?
So, it is, I'm coming up on my 10-year anniversary, and by coincidence, I had breakfast this morning with the gentleman who ran engineering in the earliest days of Ripple, guy named Chris Kanaan, who's an all-star. And we spent some time reminiscing. And look, for me, joining Ripple, I think a lot of people want to be a part of putting their own dent in the universe and whatever that looks like. It's a kind of quote from Steve Jobs years back. And the vision behind Ripple, and first meeting with Chris Larson, one of our co-founders, the vision around an internet value, an internet of value, is it resonated with me deeply. And it was one of these things where you're like, okay, this makes sense. It makes the world a better place. And the challenge is, of course, when you talk about these big, impactful visions, is where do you start? Like, how do you get step one? And I've used the comparison of, every marathon, takes a first step. And the challenge is like getting the momentum moving in the right direction. And I think one thing I talked about over breakfast is like the momentum now is stronger than it's ever been. And I think
Listen.
Ripple, as well as the XRP community, is in a stronger place than we've ever been. Look, I think everybody has felt the frustration, and I certainly chief amongst them, of the headwinds. But look, from a whole bunch of different ways, I find that we're in this just unbelievable, powerful spot now. And 2025 really could be an amazing year. And I mean that. We talked yesterday about some of the new licenses we have. We have obviously invested a lot globally in licensing. We have over 60 licenses around the world. We've talked, we're very focused in 2025 on some of the real world asset tokenization. we announced Ripple and Ondo Finance are working together around tokenized US treasuries and bringing those to the XRP ledger. I just think that, again, back to my macro point, people are still underestimating how, when the largest economy in the world shifts from negative to positive,
Boom.
how that's going to change some of these things. And, through a little bit of luck and a little bit of skill, Ripple finds ourselves in a really good position in that regard. And I think that certainly is catalyzing and positive for the whole XRP community.
Boom. So we literally saw the flip from negative to positive, and you guys are sitting right in the right position. You did it, guys. This is why you got to take a deep breath, get out of this weird ass tribalism stuff. Okay. Get focused, be non-emotional, be patient. Like, think 6 years down the road. Don't even worry about your portfolio right now. If it goes up, fantastic, pull profits. If it goes down, buy the dip. This is where people in crypto, the meme coin, all that stuff, this is where people get wrecked because they're not building a long-term fundamental retirement strategy, a freedom strategy, right? We're trying to get rich quick. That's not how wealth works. You're in the driver's seat right now. Don't wreck the car. Okay. So let's continue on with the narrative. One of the first orders of business will be to hold a public hearing on the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Okay. Donald Trump says there's a bright light over the USA. You can feel it. And indeed, the entire world ever since the presidential election of 2024. If you're not first, you're last. This is Cynthia Loomis. America must take decisive action to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve and secure its place in the 21st century. Head of Czech's central bank wants to buy Bitcoin or billions of euros in Bitcoin. So Trump will not lose, guys. They are moving fast. It is going to happen quickly. Breaking: Trump media to invest in Bitcoin and crypto. Bloomberg. Bullish: 10 days into Trump's presidency, we see executive order related to crypto and AI. SEC repealed SAB 121, allowing banks to custody crypto. Jerome Powell says, hey, they're good to go. Water's warm. What? I mean, everybody's just flipping all of a sudden? Or was this planned out? Fed Chair Powell says banks can I didn't even see that next line, can fully serve crypto customers. Will the strategic Bitcoin reserve come next? Absolutely will. And I'll leave you with one of my favorite investors. They say she's one of the top female investors. I think she's one of the top investors. I love Kathy Woods. Check this out.
The next big wave, and it's a huge efficiency move for the financial services sector. So in terms of Bitcoin specifically, it is really the leader in a new asset class. And we have a paper out on that. You can see the low correlations, which do define a new asset class. And it is a global monetary system. It's a very big idea. My professor, mentor, friend, Art Laffer, when he collaborated with us on our Bitcoin paper in 2015, he said, this is what I've been waiting for since the US closed the gold window in 1971. So he has been energized by this new movement towards a rules-based global monetary system.
Do you think Trump's going to be on board with that? Like, the president has indicated he's quite a big fan of the US dollar. And it sounds like what you're suggesting is a replacement for the US dollar.
No, we actually think that, that these two will coexist. And if anything, what we're seeing with the stablecoin movement, which is how people, is the on-ramp into decentralized financial services, they're all backed by treasury securities, which de facto, they're backed by the dollar.
Yeah. So they're, and even Trump said that he now realizes it is not a threat to the dollar. So here's my wise counsel. Okay. Remember, knowledge without wisdom is dangerous. Don't do your investment strategy based on some person on Twitter telling you that Bitcoin's going to zero or XRP is a shit coin. Like, we should be doing our financial decisions based on deep research, listening to people who actually run the money through the system, following their strategy, watching what they're doing. Like, think about this. Would the largest asset manager in the world, BlackRock, be all in on Bitcoin? Would they be all in the top 3 holders in MicroStrategies, which their whole strategy is Bitcoin? Like, that's just logic. Would Trump be wanting to create a Bitcoin strategic reserve and make America the crypto capital of the world? Would Cynthia Loomis be creating a Bitcoin treasury bill? Would 12 states in America already be submitting for their Bitcoin treasury? So are you going to take your advice from people on Twitter who are emotional and triggered all the time and constantly going back and forth? Remember, knowledge without wisdom is extremely dangerous. So this industry can be very, very emotional, right? You have to first understand what the dollar is. A dollar is debt. It's the crypto is not a threat to dollar. Crypto can enhance and help America strengthen the dollar. If they pull Bitcoin underneath the treasury, or if they do a bag of cryptos underneath the treasury, it's going to shrink the balance sheet dramatically and quickly. That's what we need. America has no money in the system. Every single dollar is someone else's debt. So if you're sitting there with $300,000 in the bank, you have 3% purchasing power. So all I'm doing is transmuting my earned income that I trade time for money for, time away from my family, and I'm transmuting that into deflationary assets that have been growing dramatically. My XRP has gone up 800% since 2020. Since Trump became president, 500%. My Bitcoin has been going up 50%. Every Bitcoin is going up 50% every single year. So I'm transmuting my cash into deflationary assets. When I profit, I pull it down the risk pyramid. I'm putting into things, tier one capital that have been here since the Roman days, insurance, right? The first annuity was in the Roman days. Cash value life insurance has been around forever. Tax code 77028 came out in 1913 when the Federal Reserve was created. Interesting, right? So I use cash value life insurance to protect, compound, and grow. I index some of my money into insurance, silver for barterability. I use Bitcoin as my gold. We're getting more real estate for tax liabilities. Okay. Then we have businesses. Business is the greatest way to wealth. We transmute that business income into a Bitcoin treasury, an XRP treasury for our company. And personally, I'm building that for my family. Then on top of that, I have the Rockefeller waterfall system so I can pass this financial literacy down from generation to generation. Bitcoin's not going to zero. XRP is not a shitcoin. They are both going to leave a dent in the absolute universe. They have very different mechanisms to them, right? So instead of arguing back and forth, figure out what feels good to you. If Bitcoin feels good to you, then invest in it. If XRP feels good to you, then invest in it. If HBAR feels good to you, then invest in it. Don't ask what to invest in, ask why you're investing in it. And just a recommendation from Wise Counsel, coaching over 10,000 people worldwide, is don't get caught up in the meme coin bullshit. We have seen so many people get wrecked. It is gambling. It's basically gambling. You're going to get rug pulled, and it creates an addictive behavior if you do win the first time or second time. And it's not a healthy way to invest. That's not how wealth is built. Kathy Woods isn't chasing meme coins. Warren Buffett is not chasing meme coins. Ray Dalio is not chasing meme coins. Right? They're talking about Bitcoin. Now these big people are talking about XRP. Why do they talk about XRP and Bitcoin so much? Because they're going to leave a debt in the universe. And that's all it is. There's not some big grand conspiracy going on. Money is changing form. It has to. So those of you who are struggling with understanding this, it has to change form. You just have to ask yourself, what is the new system going to look like? It's like a house that's built in 1920. You bought the house. It's a beautiful home on nice land, but the infrastructure is rotten. The plumbing is messed up. The electrical is messed up. And you have to break that house all the way down underneath the ground, redo the wiring, redo the plumbing, and then start building a modern house with the AI and Bluetooth and technology. Eventually, the house will not be able to survive in the new quantum era. That's all it is. It's not always just some big grand conspiracy. And that's where people get caught up because they're focused on the wrong things. For me, it's God, family, protect my ecosystem at all costs, and stay out of other men and women's business. I'm too busy working on mine. And it's worked really well for us. We're now financially free. We're working to build generational wealth now. Next cycle will be generational wealth. We've created cash generating assets. We built opportunities for people. We're giving back, right? And that's the beauty of these resources. So I hope this information helps you. And just a reminder as well, we will never proactively DM you. There's so many scammers using our likeness and image. We're actually going to be working probably with AI technology to beat that. And we're trying to figure out a way to combat this. I will never ask you to send me money. I'll never ask about your portfolio. I do not invest people's crypto. We do not have a trading platform. Just don't send anybody money pretending to be me. Very simple. Okay. What I do have for you is resources. So I have people and licensed agents in all 50 states and Canada to help you with cash value life insurance, how to protect, how to insure your family, annuities, how to move old money, how to secure your profits in cryptocurrency and cash value life insurance. And that's what I do. And so what I do may not work for you. So what I created is called a needs assessment. It's down below in the description of the video or my social media platform. You fill out the needs assessment. My team will text you, call you, email you, and they'll do a free retirement strategy for you. Okay. You'll never send them money directly. So you'll know you're working with my team. Okay. We don't get paid by the client. We get paid by the companies. Okay. So just want to make that very clear. Then on the other side, you'll see the Coach JV Academy, 3T Warrior Academy. That is education. It's all education, live calls, market calls, live calls with me. Get in the tribe, get in the vibe. In my revolutionary 120-day challenge, we change over 10,000 people's lives worldwide, and we hope to be yours next. So get in the tribe, get in the vibe. Again, that is not a trading platform. We do not invest people's crypto. I love you guys. Warriors. Rise. And that's all in my bio. Just click the link and down below. Talk to you soon.